That's obvious. And I think that drift is causing some dissension. That's obvious. And so if we don't solve that, we're probably not going to have a successful year. And so I know that there's been some goals like social betterment, culture, and all of that. But one major point is, how does BOSSA maintain its vitality in this school? It's supposed to help students move forward, despite all the things that are happening. I mean, the institution is fine, but BOSS is a vital link in terms of making sure students' concerns are heard, making sure they're academically successful, and making sure that they participate in the life of the law school. So, apart from little programs and activities, that's fine, but what does the E-Board think is the vision for Boston moving forward? And as part of that, what are people saying that they need on the ground?
I think we have to make sure, though, that we do have a clear understanding of what they say they need.
Mm-hmm. So what do people need? It would be...
I don't know what.
So, for example, academics, are first years like sort of swimming? Do we know where they're at? What are they doing? Is they're concerned about exams, classes?
Oh, yes. So, exams, they want to know, 1Ls want to know everything. They want to know, how to take an exam. They want to know, and then how to get a job, and the best way to do that. That's pretty much the main things that they're worried about is academics, and then jobs, which everyone is for the most part. So people who have jobs already.
I know that, speaking from my experience, what helped me was McNeil a lot, as far as like how to take an exam, how to write an essay, multiple choice, certain stuff like that.
So we're gonna set up that exam thing.
Yes, sir.
And that needs to happen now.
Yeah.
If you want both I and Professor Trucio's hands to participate, that's going to have to happen soon in order for it to be of any value.
Okay.
I think if we get into the middle of November.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's make sure that the exam workshop happens.
And then, too, I don't know if they know how to outline.
Okay.
Like, I know Imani helped us a lot with our outlines
Yeah.
the first year.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I've talked to a lot of them individually. They haven't necessarily said I need this, but I've just given unwarranted advice.
Yeah, they never do, and then we get the first year grades, and then there we are.
Yeah.
So we need to do something as soon as we can to make sure that they're sure. Everybody says that they know, and they'll say I've memorized the material. That's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure they're memorizing material now and parroting back the rules, but if you don't apply that to something, it's not. So,
Okay.
And we're at the point now where they should be not only taking the black letter concepts, but applying them. The more they do that, the better off they'll be.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is October 30th. You probably want to shoot for the first week in November. Because it's like the October 28th, so.
Can we, though, put it on paper and just ask everybody, like, you know, what do you need? Also, what do you want? Or, you know, not a whole lot, just a few questions just to find out.
Yeah, we can do that on Thursday. For sure. What do y'all want?
I think, I don't know who is hosting the exam writing workshop. Probably Angela. I think it's for first years and second years. And I know earlier in the semester someone, or maybe it was Angela, offered to like help with that.
Yeah.
But I did not find any of that helpful first year, just because I had like different professors want different things. And so I guess like I don't know if we want to have something like formal, have a professor help, have a student help, a couple of students from each like section, but each professor, just like, I guess what the professor is looking for on an exam, I don't know if that would help at all. I know that Angela would probably be helpful for the multiple choice, but as far as the essays, the short answers are concerned, I'm not all that sure. So I think that would be beneficial for the first year. As far as second years, and I mean, I guess y'all are second years, so you guys can like put in your own input. But as far as third years are concerned, I don't know if many of them care that much. I know they don't really want to be involved, and they feel like somehow they're being forced to be involved. And so I think that might be an issue.
I agree.
Back to the exam thing, the professors of color have always had a workshop, and it was fairly effective, but it falls off from time to time. I think that's something we need to do now.
Yes.
Do you think that's would be
I can't
beneficial?
really hear.
He said that the professors of color have always had an exam prep course, but it falls off from time to time. We need to bring it back. Do you think that we should? And would it be beneficial? I agree, 100%. And so I just sent the email out right now. I
And
think
different professors. There'll be two different professors there, but the structure of what we talk about is always how to adapt to different professors. You know, if they're not going to office hours and directly engaging these professors and getting sample exams and practicing, then it's not going to be beneficial. But what we've done in the past that was beneficial, I think, is to give some structure to how they should be studying now moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Because that can make a huge change for this month. I mean, I completely agree. So that was always a goal coming in, because it was something
So
we
when
didn't
can that
have.
happen?
That can happen as soon as y'all are free. I just sent the email. Last time when I sent the email, I didn't follow through because of the dissension, but I never got a response from Professor Trucio's Haynes. I'm sure she would love to do it, though, and would find time. So whenever you're free,
Just give me some dates and I'll catch up with her.
any day. So let's see. Let's say, what about this Wednesday? Oh, not Wednesday, the 30th. What about, we can't do Thursday because of meeting. Monday next week. So November 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th. And so definitely on the 6th, 12 to 1 would be a good time. Thursday, 12 to
Wait a
1.
minute, November,
Si-
what day, 4th, 5th, and 6th?
Yes, sir.
So what
Even
day?
the 7th too. 7th too.
Do
12,
you all have access to their class schedule?
12 to 1.
No.
No, I don't. Let me see.
But isn't that like the hour there's no classes between 12 and
12 and 1 is when we have
Well-
the meeting and a lot of people show up. We got to make sure that there's no mandatory program or something like that.
When I'm not driving, I can check the daily docket to see if there's a mandatory program on that day.
1? I can do it.
Let me see real fast.
Kind of random question, but have we talked about dues though? Like,
No, we have not.
Should that be on the agenda?
Since
That
treasurer
definitely
right
should be
here.
on the agenda.
Right. Just put it on the agenda. Michi.
It's in there.
I don't see. Hold on. Yeah, I don't see anything for next week.
Okay.
On 11/7 is the 1L exam writing workshop with Dean Crawford. So if they wanted to go to that,
November the 7th?
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we can't do
So he's
Thursday
doing
then.
an exam writing workshop.
12 to
Mhm.
1.
From
He-
12 to 12:45 in room 175.
He did one week that we went to
Nobody
that
came.
last
He
year.
does them each semester.
Me, yeah. Which, I mean, if we did one the day before on the 6th, 12-1, and then they reinforced it with Dean Crawford's. Let me see.
So are you saying this for next Monday?
Next Wednesday, most likely.
Next Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me see. I'm just gonna text him.
So this 12-1 on Wednesday, is this like a free time slot for the students?
Yes. Yep. Free. I'm making sure, but
Can you put it in?
I'm putting it in the group chat,
That's
and
what
I'm
I'm
texting. Yeah, and I'm texting 2 people from different sections. I like how we're getting this done, though. It's gonna get done. All right. So let's leave it right there. I mean, November 7th, 12-1 would be a good time and date at this point.
November 6th?
Yeah, 6.
The Wednesday, yeah, 6. My bad.
Alright, well, okay. I'll catch up with Professor Tricia and see.
But I'll definitely verify that, like, right after this meeting, if that's the correct date and time. But that's what it's looking like. They'll be free.
And then as far as helping them get jobs, I work for OPD now, so I can help them with that.
That's cool. So, here's my concern. So, jobs and all of that, that's fine. And I think that will come in time.
Right.
But I'm concerned about the organization working, first of all. It's not
Right.
working. And passing these exams so people will be here.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they get the jobs and all of that. But I understand that. That's important. But I'm really concerned going into this exam period if it's not cohesive. Not gonna be good.
Mhm.
That's a concern.
So
So we get this workshop going. That's good. Then what are we gonna say in the meeting?
meeting, I thought we were trying to find goals, right? Define goals.
Before all the goal stuff, what is the executive board gonna say so that people will know?
In my opinion, I
the
think
direction.
it's
Yeah, go ahead.
good to be transparent,
Yes.
because a lot of the stuff I don't know, half the stuff that's
Exactly.
going on. So
Yeah.
I know they don't know.
Exactly.
So I think it's good to be transparent, let them know whatever happened
Right.
in a decent manner,
Right.
and then how do we go from here?
Exactly. And so that's good. So I think the point is, if you just went in and start talking about goals, they're going to still think you're pushing something
Okay.
on them without having a discussion about where we are and where we're going. And so
Okay.
the transparency point works because I think we have to say that there's a problem we want to address. We want everybody to be on the same page. I mean, the different groups and all of that, but not going to be successful unless we all
come together.
are together. Don't have to go to lunch together, but you have to know what our common goals are and how we move through this. And so
Then I think
So-
too, it'd
Right.
be good to know what they need and
Right.
what they've had issue with in the
Right.
past,
Okay.
so that we can address it. Because I feel like I don't know is not an adequate answer at this
Right.
point. We just keep saying I don't know.
Right.
We need to figure it out.
What do we know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so hold on one second. Let's go back to the first point. So say that there's a problem, right? And then say, what else?
No, it's not a public flogging. I mean, what do you think? The things that you've been hearing. What do you
I don't hear anything because they don't tell me, right? So that's what it is. So what other people have been
So
hearing.
that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
erratic communication, whether it's too much or not clear, or people aren't responding to it.
So say that there's a problem with communication.
Yeah, I think there's a problem with communication, and I think too, it has to do with a lot of, if there is an issue, nobody comes to the e-board,
Okay.
and they
Okay.
talk amongst each other, which in turn like kind of makes bad blood or issues or drama amongst the community.
So how we share information and how we communicate with each other.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. And they just verified that.
And what should communicating with each other look like?
So
I think that if there is an issue with BASA, it should be brought to the e-board, and we can discuss
Yeah.
it, and then in turn, if there's a solution, let them know the solution, and if there's not,
Work through it with
work
the
through
membership.
it, or
So the e-board is a conduit for the
Mhm.
membership to express their concerns,
mm-hmm.
and we resolve together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then two, I think there's an issue with, I don't know how to say this in a good way.
Just say it so we won't be beating around the bush and everybody will be.
I think that everybody has their own individual like
Groups.
issues,
Mhm.
and I feel like they think that BASA can save the world in a day, and I
Okay.
don't think that that's possible.
100%.
And I think that when they don't get what they want, in a sense, it turns into screw BASA, or BASA's not this, or this person's not this.
So
And I think that we need like
investment into us.
no. I think that we need to like,
Yeah.
I guess have a understanding of what BASA is and as a whole, and then understand too that we can't fix everything,
Okay.
and that we can't like make it a magical world in a sense in one day,
True.
because that's not reality.
So be realistic with,
Yeah.
with our
That's true
goals.
for anything.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. That's true for anything.
I think one thing that we have is people feel detached, so maybe an investment because they're like, well, I'm just an ally, or I don't really have a say. And it's BOSA here at this campus. Yes, it's black students, but it's all minorities that we encompass and want to push forward for. So I think people need to kind of feel a part of it too, because as a black man, as a Hispanic man, as a white man, I still feel like I'm part of BOSA, right? Maybe because I am part black, but it is what it is. If I was just Hispanic, I don't know, maybe I'd feel funny about the name, but still, this is the only group that's here to really help you. So some people like to say, well, I'm just an ally and I don't really, and then they kind of cop out to where they use that as, well, I don't have to participate, or I don't have to help, or I'm just going to do my own thing. Now, maybe that's because of ill feelings towards, leadership or whatever, but
I mean, it's like what you said last time, though. It's you have to love BASA more than
Yourself.
your individual self, or
we don't have that. We don't
How do
have
people
that.
feel about that?
I mean, I don't know that it's been put like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
And then too, I don't think we know like the magnitude of what BASA is. Like, I don't think we appreciate it as
Oh,
much.
really? Okay.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I could give a history lesson on Boston.
well, I kind of got the gist when we were in here last time. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, like, we didn't really know the magnitude of what
Yeah,
BASA
it
is
was-
and what it can
yeah.
do. And I think people just look at it as like a social organization.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let's go get free food and snacks
Yeah.
and hee hee ha ha. And
Okay. Okay.
it's cool.
All right. History. All right. So we really do have to, in this meeting, before we even get to goals, we have to. And this, I think this can be done respectfully, but it may, some people may not like the candor, but I think that we have to talk about how we share information and how we communicate with each other. The e-board's role in sort of serving as a conduit of comments, concerns, and the way you solve problems is not talking in groups, you talk directly through and to the group. And so collaboration has to mean something. There are institutional limitations. We can't solve all the world's problems, but we can make you successful here. And that's what we're really trying to do. That has to be paramount. And then including everybody, making them understand what BOSSA is. So nobody knows the history of BOSSA or that?
No. I mean, they did try last semester to bring the founders, so they did try to share that history, but yeah, it was in November. November stuff is hard to get to.
Sure, that might be the 50th anniversary of BOSSA if it hasn't already passed. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I had something, I don't remember what it was now. It's gone. Maybe it'll come back. Oh. Maybe I kind of already touched on this, but it's kind of like if somebody has an idea and it can't be, like, done at their rate or or done, period, because of money or whatever the case may be, that kind of, like, puts issues there. Because I feel like everybody has great ideas, but we kind of limited on resources.
Yeah.
And I think that has to be transparent as well to let them know, like, hey, you know, we're working with what we have. So I think that needs to be known by them. And to also, you know, don't just throw an idea out there, kind of help get it going, because I feel like a lot of ideas are thrown out there and then it's just left for us to try to put it together. And nobody, like, I've heard people say, well, I'm not, you know, on the e-board, or I'm not this, so, you know, that's not my job, but this is my idea. And I think that's not very helpful.
I haven't heard many ideas, but I do feel exactly what she's saying. 100%.
So ideas are good. They should be shared, but ideas take work through cooperation and collaboration with the group.
Yeah, and I think that's what Dimitri was trying to do, in a sense.
So, okay.
With the, what are they called? Committees?
Committees, yeah.
I feel like that's what he was trying to do, but it kind of came off like, you have to be on a committee, you have to do this, but I don't think that's what he meant.
And so that got taken. I'm not. You really don't have to say anything.
BOSSA has to work. What can you do to help us make this happen?
Okay.
What can we do? Okay.
It's cool.
All right. History. All right. So we really do have to, in this meeting, before we even get to goals, we have to. And this, I think this can be done respectfully, but it may, some people may not like the candor, but I think that we have to talk about how we share information and how we communicate with each other. The e-board's role in sort of serving as a conduit of comments, concerns, and the way you solve problems is not talking in groups, you talk directly through and to the group. And so collaboration has to mean something. There are institutional limitations. We can't solve all the world's problems, but we can make them successful here.
Mhm.
And that's what we're really trying to do. That has to be paramount. And then including everybody, making them understand what BOSSA is. So nobody knows the history of BOSSA or that?
No, I mean,
Yeah.
they did try last semester to bring the founders, so they did try to share that history, but yeah, it was in November. November stuff is hard to get to.
And that's something
Sure,
else
that might be
we
the
could
50th
go over.
anniversary of BOSSA if it hasn't already passed. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I had something, I don't remember what it was now, it's gone.
Mhm.
Maybe it'll come back. Oh. Maybe I kind of already touched on this, but it's kind of like if somebody has an idea and it can't be like done
Right.
at their rate or
Right.
or done period because of money or whatever
Right.
the case may be,
Just
that
like
kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
puts issues there.
Okay.
Because I feel like everybody has great ideas, but we're kind of limited on resources.
Yeah.
And I think that has to be transparent as well to let them know, like, hey, you know, we're working with what we have. So I think that needs to be known by them. And to also, you know, don't just throw an idea out there, kind of help get it going. Because I feel like a lot of ideas are thrown out there and then it's just left for us
Like
to try
you
to
do it.
put it
Yeah.
together. And nobody, like I've heard people say, well, I'm not, you know, on the e-board or I'm not this, so, you know, that's not my job, but this is my idea. And I think that's not very helpful.
I haven't heard many ideas, but I do feel exactly what she's saying. 100%. 100%.
So ideas are good. They should be shared, but ideas take work through cooperation and collaboration with the group.
Yeah, and I think that's what Dimitri
Nah.
was trying to do, in a
The
sense,
sole
100%.
board. Okay.
with the, what are they called? Committees?
Committees, yeah.
I feel like that's what he was trying to do, but it kind of came off like,
Okay.
you have to be on a committee, you have to do
Yeah.
this, but I don't think that's what he meant.
And
if
so
I'm-
that got taken.
if I'm not-
Yeah,
if
I'm
I'm
not.
correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You really don't have to say anything.
BOSSA has to work. What can you do to help us make this happen?
Mhm.
Okay.
What can we do? So that's the whole first part of the meeting. And then if that's successful, we can talk about these goals, right?
Okay.
Is there anything else we left out that's a concern that you haven't talked about?
I mean, I think communication and participation is the biggest concern with how we're running and moving and doing things. Because if not, it's just one person.
Okay. So, okay, transparency and goals. What do we know? Where are we going? But the key conversation is how we share information and how we communicate with each other. What does it mean to be a member of BOSSA?
So does that
And
mean?
we can't solve all the problems? We want to be inclusive, not totally a social organization. It has to be something more. You can find what that is. I think it should be political too, but you know, that's you all's call. It has to be something more though. Ideas are good, they should be expressed, but ideas take work through the group, not just the e-board. And just because your idea isn't totally implemented, is no comment on you, is what we have to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to be buy-in. BOSSA has to work. What do we do to make this happen? What are you about to say, Ms. Phil? I'm sorry.
I don't have anything else to say.
What-
I don't think.
I wanted a definition on what does it mean to be a member of BOSSA. Is that what do we expect from you?
I wouldn't think about it just like step by step for definition. I want you to sort of think about what is BOSSA and where does it go? And so there's no set phrase or definition I can give you. You have this meeting to help us gauge where the membership is. And you know, it may be that some people don't want to participate. They want to do their own thing, and you know, I think it's important, up or down, that you determine your own destiny. So I'm willing to help you do that, but yeah, I'm not. I think we're way past the point, and this is in life too, where you sort of try to convert people to whatever. I think we clearly set out the goals, talk about how BOSSA works, and then that'll be a core group of people who want to do the work, and then other people make other decisions. So, what are you about to say?
So, okay. So we can come in, say there's a problem, right? I'm just making sure I get it so I know. Problems with communication, how we resolve goals, understanding what BOSA is, what it is to be a member.
Yeah, you
Someone
don't.
has
So
an idea.
this, I think you'll be limited in terms of how you present it if you sort of look at it as sort of a checklist. I'm going to make these points.
Okay.
I think if you look at the problem organically that we have, it is no buy-in.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we get people to understand that BOSSA is not simply a social organization, but an organization committed to the survival of people of color at this law school? And, you know, that means socially, that means academically, that means in the community, setting up ties that could lead to jobs, but more importantly, developing your skills as public interest lawyers, or even if you want to be a corporate lawyer. All of those things matter, but all of that stuff is meaningless if we don't have a core group of students working together to make it happen. And
So how do we get them to buy in, is what you're saying?
well, it's their choice, and we're good. You just lay out what it is.
So
And so,
I just don't see how that's different from what I've been doing in the last 2-3 meetings or the last 20 emails.
It could be, and so you have to like move beyond that. I mean, I think that's getting in your way, quite honestly, about what people think and how. So you're the leader.
Uh-huh.
You set the tone through collaboration and cooperation. Some people will accept that, some won't. Nothing you can do about that. But perception is reality in these type of organizations. So you want to make it look like and make it a reality that they are actively participating in how this organization works. Maybe the perception was you're just telling us this, and that may be wrong. But that perception got started somehow. So you sort of have to move beyond that and see what majority of the group wants to work to move forward. Some people don't like to be told how it is, but you know, there's nothing you can do about that. I think as long as you are respectful and attentive to what they're saying, that will help. It may just be a perception thing. I think you're telling me what to do, that type of thing. So, you know, I have colleagues like that, and there's a certain approach you have to take so that they can hear. Or maybe that sometimes they don't hear. But that isn't your concern. Your concern, first and foremost, like PR, is BOSSA.
Yeah.
You represent the organization. And so, for the benefit of the organization, you have to bring along as many people as you can. And you do that by sort of talking about their concerns, and you also have to direct the conversation. Some people, they can only see themselves and they're way over there. That has nothing to do with BOSSA. And you know, you just say in a nice way, well, that's maybe an interesting point, but how does that fit in with BOSSA?
Okay.
And if they're always saying, well, me and I, and this is what that's not working. We want you to be part of this group. How can you share the common goals that we have? So it's a matter of engagement, and maybe, yeah, I know it's frustrating when you say I've been doing this all the time, but they may not be hearing it because of the way that they're perceiving it being presented.
That makes
And
sense.
so the way to present it is, okay, you have some interesting ideas. we have an executive board. Let's talk about them, see where we can move. It can't be also, I mean, it's a two-way street. It can't be them criticizing all the time and bosses and this and that. And so how does that work? And if you start doing that here, it's gonna go outside. It's already, you have no idea just how it's important to have a professional profile within the law school, because this is a small legal community. People talk all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. And so, and it starts, then that's beyond race. It starts, in the classroom. It starts, and you can, sometimes you can almost tell how people are going to be as lawyers. And sure enough, you see it 6 or 7 years later, and it's in a career journal. I could have told you that.
I think that's what some people need to hear in our group.
Okay,
honestly,
well, they can hear it. Yeah, yeah. That's the way it starts. And you don't have to go to lunch. I mean, I don't go to lunch with some of my colleagues. I don't, But we got to make this law school work. We
Yes,
got to
sir.
do committee work. Hell, I may even have to be on a committee with you, but we need to make this thing work. And so,
okay.
Reputation is the driving force of this profession. And once it starts, it's not good. So, rest professional light. And this is why we talk about self-determination, and we want the organization to work. I mean, you're young professionals, you have to deal and start. Some of this is trial and error, some of it's making mistakes and learning. That's good. But throughout it all, you have to be the type of person who's respectful, who is professional, and is willing to work moving forward. It cannot be under any scenario where that's because if it starts playing here, that's what they're going to see outside. And if anyone asks, somebody's going to say, well, that's that, and then there we go. You're limited, and it takes years to come off of that.
Makes sense.
Bad.
So we start with, this is the problems we want to make BOSA work, but not yet go to the goals. Not yet go to the goals.
Well, see how that goes.
Okay.
And there'll be some grammar and then, okay, these are some valid concerns.
Okay.
What can we do together to make this year a success moving forward? And I think oftentimes you focus on events and stuff. So the convocation's coming up. That's great. We do that every year. That's a hallmark of this experience. But what can we do within the law school to make sure that inclusion means something, diversity means something, that students don't feel isolated in class, that if there are concerns, there's a united political front to go to the dean or this new assistant dean. So that's another thing. BOSS has to be active in all phases of the school. So we're doing this search. There's this uproar about climate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the law school is slowly doing something about that. But BOSS, along with other student organizations, has to be at the table when we start interviewing these people. We want input.
Mm-hmm.
Want to know what students think.
So try and get more people to come to faculty meetings with me?
Not even the faculty, just being involved. It's not just
Being
attendance.
aware,
It's
being involved.
Okay.
it's working. It's negotiating. It's being in the room when these discussions are made. So no different than SBA. SBA is over, up and in the life of this law school. Boston has to be too.
So 2 things with that. I think that's my fault because I didn't take the time to explain to people, which I felt like some people should already know. If you're 3L or 2L, you probably should know that there's a problem, right? Because we've been here. But I got to take the time.
So let me tell you this. So in terms of leadership, don't always say that's my fault. Whatever. Your vision has to coalesce with what Boston is.
Every night.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not like I'm not being sympathetic to you, but it's kind of like, okay,
Right.
I'm black, I'm going to go through it again,
Right,
and
right.
I can't cry
Right.
about it tonight.
Yeah.
So it's the same few people that
That's
every
right.
time something happens to them, like,
Right.
it has to be a war, an uproar, and
Right.
that's just not
Right.
going to work.
Yeah, we got to go another way. Yeah. I get it now. That's good.
And I think
You know,
I think part of it was too, like, when Khaleesi left, she wanted to make sure that, you know, things were going in a good direction when she left. So that was her goal at the end of the semester, you know, to make sure the school is changing the way it's supposed to and to actually do something. And I think coming off the back of that, like, some people were expecting us to keep, like, going full force that hard and right away at stuff that takes time to fix. And I think that kind of was, like, a misconception of what was going on. Like, I loved what Khaleesi did, and I definitely want to continue doing that, but it can't be like a fight every week or every day. It gets draining and it gets old and it gets
well, some of that stuff was necessary to fight.
It was necessary.
But I understand what you're saying. Pick your battles, because you can't fight on that. Everything isn't a people power issue. We're going to take on the administration.
Right.
But if you look at their year as a whole, it was her doing all the stuff, and then they came together at the end. It was one event out of the whole year. So it was almost like an anomaly, because everybody had got pissed off at that point, and then they went against the administration. So then we're coming in on the other side, dealing with the same problems that they had the whole year, where no one was together. There's no communication, no unity. And so now we got to kind of fix that. And I understand why we're trying to fix it.
Sorry, I forgot.
Miss Sewell, I'm sorry. Go say something. We've just been talking. You've been listening. What do you think?
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Was that a question for me?
Yeah.
Okay, what was it? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
We were going on and forgot to ask you what you think. What do you think? Going forward.
So, did you say those monthly or those additional meetings would be mandatory, or is it just like a
No.
check-in?
No.
No, not at all, because that will cause an uproar. I just more contact and check in to understand what people are thinking and doing.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. When is our next meeting?
This Thursday. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I gotta send an email out.
Okay. So we're gonna go through all of this or most of this on Thursday, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
I guess you guys. Oh, so when I was listening to you talk about the people who have these individualized issues, I haven't really heard much. I'm also not around as much. But I do think, like what you said, is important for us to keep the entirety of Boston in mind, not just the individual people. Even though it is unfortunate that they experience these things, I think we'll never be able to fix everyone's problems. So, you know,
And so, yeah, that's good. And so sometimes people have to know that, you have to fight individually too. So if you think that there's something wrong, like for a professor or something, that's why you have the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs. Or if there's a grievance or something, there's a procedure for that. It may not take mass action all the time. I think that's the point we can make as well.
And something that tells us how to deal with these issues. Because
Probably
no
not.
one knows. So
Probably
that's
not.
I was just
So,
thinking
you
that's
know
what we
why?
need to do.
You know why? Everyone just assumes because you get the student handbook that people read it. But that's in the student. Yeah, see, that's in the student handbook.
Yeah.
Your lawyers, you got to know the rules. So
Yes, sir.
I know it sounds dumb, but read the student handbook. It's right in there.
Right.
Yeah.
I actually need to go, so.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Is that it? We're about-
That's it, man. Having a meeting Thursday. We're talking about voicing concerns. We're saying where we want BOLSA to go. Maybe a history of BOLSA. We're going to introduce more meetings. We're going to tell them that next Wednesday, both sections have that time free. So on November 6th, 12 to 1, 12:15 to 1, they have it free.
Who's going to do the history? Professor Powell, are you going to?
I'll figure it out. I
Okay.
can figure that out. Yeah.
There's more stuff I can. Oh, dues for sure.
And that's $10, right?
$10 for all 3 years.
No,
Yeah,
it's
it's $10. Yeah,
For all 3 years.
for all 3 years.
Oh,
so
so
yeah.
it's so I okay.
Yeah, that's not that. You're paid. You're done.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Hopefully this just helps
That's
us.
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So,
feel like us being here is good though, right?
Yeah.
so we'll do that. I'll come to the meeting and stay as long as I think is necessary and do it that way. But yeah, Thursday.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Where's it gonna be? What, 171 or something?
I'm trying to get it in 060.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Any developments I need to know about, please feel free.
Okay. We're done, Imani.
Thank
All right.
you.
Bye.